Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It has been an entire week and a half since we've had some good old coach rivals action, but here we are. I am Mr. Hernandez Teaches, and I am joined today by the amazing looking Pathfinder and Key Kitty Key. How y'all doing today?
Great. Thank you for the introduction.
Doing fantastic, hoping not to sweat through this suit tonight.
Well, we know Pathfinder. He's been on the desk with us several times. But Key Kitty Key, this is your first time joining us. So, are you excited to be casting this evening?
I am so excited. This is going to be I think, the most lively cast we've had all year because Pathfinder and I are on rival teams. So we've got a lot of energy to work through tonight.
All
Adding on to
right.
that, we're still sweat. Well, I'm still sweating in this Texas heat. So uh, not only will we be sweating bullets throughout the cast, but it's also for some spicy League of Legends action coming up.
That is true. Key Kitty Key, where are you from?
I am currently in New Mexico, and so both of us are enjoying that lovely, arid Southwest temperatures.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. We actually have some of our players loading up here into the match. I'm sure we'll be getting started soon. But in our very first game this evening, we have ValHolla back versus Legends of the Rift. So, what do you guys expect out of these two teams this evening?
I think ValHalla back the first time they've met Legends of the Rift in Tier 2, they managed to pull out the victory. I think ValHalla back went with an Ilawi composition with Brand as their mid lane, while Legends of the Rift, I think that was their first game when they lane swapped Bulldog Mentor to mid, and they were placed on the Vex. So I think Legends of the Rift have seen some success with the Vex taking the dub over Triforce Tryhards 2 weeks ago. So I'd be looking for more playmaking potential from Bulldog Mentor like before.
Personally, I'm looking for one thing and one thing alone, and that is stacking Leandre's anguish. Because Valhalla back is a team that plays Brand, they play Zyra, they play Malzahar, they play all these champions that desperately want to use that item, and now that they can have multiple, I think it's going to unlock them.
That's true. We're playing on a brand new patch. It hit this morning, I believe, right? Um, that's pretty crazy that some of these big changes are coming in. Our coaches have to adapt to that and implement those changes without even having like a full day of practice, right? How do you think you're bringing up what could be very strong? Do you anticipate that coming into our drafts?
I think one of the most impactful changes are to the lethality items. They now passively grant you 5 extra move speed per legendary item completed. So that's a lot more mobility for assassin champions. I know assassins aren't really favored in tier 2, but I think this is, if anyone's going to try assassins for the first time in tier 2, this should be the spot.
So I'm also looking for a couple of key buffs. I think Amumu and Seraphine, who I believe we saw both of those last week in our tier 2 games. I think that those buffs are going to be pretty influential in bringing champions that are already meta into like that super S tier rank. And I think we're going to be seeing both of those in maybe both games tonight.
Yeah, and I think to add to that, we have Nyla out this
Oh,
patch. I believe she is available to be picked by any of our summoners. Let's see if they're actually going to be brave enough to do that. But just looking at the champion from, a kit perspective, very overloaded in my opinion. A lot of heals, a lot of shields, plenty of mobility and playmaking potential.
let's actually discuss that. We're talking about a new patch. Usually champions on the new patch they wait like a few days to actually activate that champion, but the new patch came out and it was like instant, you get to play this immediately. So I don't anticipate any teams tonight playing it, but what are your thoughts on Nyla?
So I actually think that if there was a team tonight to play it, it would be ValHolla back. Um, I don't know if they're going to do that personally. After seeing the champion in solo queue a little bit, which I should have banned it, uh, it hits this point where if it has engaged tools, if she has engaged tools to get into a fight, she can make a difference. But also, like, the laning phase can be really, really rough if you don't know what you're doing on a melee character.
Yeah, and I think to add to that, we do have a lot of players in tier two that play champions that facilitate this. I think something that comes to mind is Sejuani, a brand with a lot of AOE all in, helps Nyla secure the kill during the engage with her ultimate. And I think for Legends of the Rift, some synergy could be had with Vex. And the last time they went out, they also played the Master Yi. So also Master Yi coming into this patch with a massive buff to his attack range, his Q, and I believe his W, the Meditate. So I'm very curious to see if Legends of the Rift plan to stick to this sort of composition in their game against ValHolla back.
Okay, and with that, we're going to be loading into the picks and bans here very shortly. So let's get prepared for that. That's going to be the last you guys hear from me until game two. But you're in great hands with Pathfinder and Key Kitty Key as they take it away.
Thank you, Robbie. Well, so I don't think that we locked in our predictions.
I think ValHolla back is going to be coming into this match very confident with their victory over Poro Snacks, I believe, last time, as well as the fact that they did win against Legends of the Rift. However, I believe Legends of the Rift pulled out their first win against Triforce Tryhard. So I think going into this match, both teams are feeling very positive about their outlooks, but I still have to give my prediction to ValHolla back. They have an amazing coach, Nishama, that undoubtedly is the reason behind Nixus's brand picks.
I'm going to go against all expectations and stick to expectations. ValHolla back they're gonna walk away with this one. I really hope that we have a really great, exciting game. I'm really looking forward to what we see in the bot lane. I hope that we don't see double enchanters. And on the inverse side of the map, top lane, I think that's going to be really exciting because both teams have shown that they're not afraid to pick, aggressive picks. That we're not going to see Ornn versus Sejuani.
Yeah, talking about top lane picks, though, Axion, the land or the hallmark top laner for Legends of the Rift, he's actually role swapped to jungle ever since last week, and unfortunately for him, his signature champion Volibear just got hit on this patch. So just terrible timing for Axion in general, and I'm going to be very curious as to see if he's going to stick with the Volibear pick or perhaps opt into a new pick because we just discussed the buffs to Master Yi, and I think ValHolla back, like you said, will walk away with this win. But I really, really want Legends of the Rift to win here. They're the underdogs for sure, and the amount of work Kate's just been putting in solo queue Bulldog Mentor has been immense.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that because she is one of my favorite players in this entire program. I think that the amount of work that she puts in is incredible. And we start with the first round Vex ban. Speaking of Kate, bye Vex.
Yeah, absolutely.
Practice.
A lot of respect thrown to Bulldog Mentor here. Vex is her signature champion. We have the response Ilaoi by Legends of the Rift. That's in response to Coach Dubs with his performance on that champion the last time around.
There's that fear, I think. Oh, and another safe mid laner banned away. I think that there's some fear there in the top lane, maybe, because you can have some insecurity when you roll swap, right?
And I think Ilaoi is just a blind pickable tier 2 champion in the top lane into Lucky as well. We see the Amumu being banned out by Legends of the Rift. Very curious. Piper Maru is a signature not Tryndamere, Trundle player, and she has been having success on Amumu and Sejuani as of late. So that is what Legends of the Rift is opting into. Let's see if ValHolla back decide to fully ban out Kate. No, it's actually in fact going to be the Volibear ban.
That's a smart ban. That champion is so strong right now. Like, even with any kind of hit to them, it's just a ridiculous, ridiculous pick. I think the Amumu is really smart. Generally, in tier 2, especially in tier 3, you want to draft really obvious engage and win conditions. And an Amumu flying into the enemy team like a hand grenade, that's your win. That's your engage right there. That's great. And then there's the Trundle. You called it. Everybody give Pathfinder the credit right there, doing his research.
Yeah, well, Valback is basically saying to Legends of the Rift, we're deciding for you, Axion, you're not going to be able to access the Volibear. The Trundle ban is going to be finally locked in, and I think should be a Sejuani jungle for Piper Maru. I think Sejuani fulfills the same role as Amumu, though, in the sense that it's a very engage-heavy tank. And I believe this is also going to free up a lot of ADC picks for Blue Sai and Loki Doki.
I might be looking a little bit too far into the future here. I was actually expecting, there's the Mordekaiser first pick, which, I mean, that is technically a flex pick, but it's also just an incredibly strong pick. A very high ban rate
and win rate.
And win rate across all the leagues that we have in Coach Rivals.
Very interesting for if this Mordekaiser does end up in Coach Dub's hands, it's going to be very interesting because he's been having success with Darius as of late, and I thought that was going to be the champion that he's going to be opting into as Legends of the Rift. Big Bad Hand is going to have his Tristana, so I think now if you are going to be Legends of the Rift, you have to draft the very protect heavy comp, build a QSS on the Tristana, and hope your front to back is going to be better than ValHolla backs.
So if I recall correctly, in week 5, it was ValHolla back that picked up the Tristana. So this is a direct steal from what they saw last week. And then is that the Kayn locked in?
Yeah, the Kayn is going to be a champion that Axion plays. I feel like it's actually a pretty good answer to the Mordekaiser because Kayn can hide out inside of Mordekaiser during the Death Realm, and the Mordekaiser passive is not going to be able to hit him. So if that's Axion's plan to counter the Mordekaiser, it's going to be a very good one indeed. And especially during the later stages of the game, when you have Red Kayn fully online, he's going to be able to completely out-heal the Mordekaiser damage. But just as I say that, the Malzahar is going to be locked in. That's going to be very heavy CC if they do decide to put it on the Kayn.
We see, like right now, we see the double. Oh, and there's the Sejuani locked in for jungle. Honestly, the Sejuani and the Mordekaiser are pretty swappable. But we see already 3 champions that are tanky and do magic damage. We see one that's obviously going to build that Demonic Embrace and Leandre's in the Malzahar, but the Mordekaiser probably going to build Demonic Embrace. We're going to see the stacking this game, I'm sure.
Yeah, and not only that, Malzahar's ultimate cannot be a Quicksilver Sashed, so that's going to be really, really troublesome for Lucky and Axion. We do see the Senna pick by Bulldog Mentor that has been what Cleaner has been playing in the bot lane as of late. The champion is good, but I must say this is going to be a lot of engage for Legends of the Rift to contend with. So they're going to have to draft some anti-engage. I feel like, there's not many picks in their arsenal that would be that would fit into ValHolla back's team composition. So I'm very curious to see. Okay, it is going to be the Zyra ban for Loki Doki.
Yeah, it is really unfortunate, like looking at these drafts right now, because on the side of blue side, I see a bouncy castle. I see Mordekaiser ripping them in, Sejuani knocking them up, Malzahar locking him down. There's nothing on the side of Legends of the Rift that we have for that until maybe Red Kayn in 20 minutes into the game, and we see a double AD bot lane. there are some concerns in the draft. I do think, other than until that Senna was locked in, we had two picks that were really good into the Mordekaiser. Tristana with the rocket jump to get away, and with the Buster shot to knock Mordekaiser away. She's never gonna die in a Death Realm. Kayn, as you said, he can sit with his ultimate on Mordekaiser. He can Q, E over the wall, W to knock him up. There's so many tools there. And then we see the double-ish support ban here for Zyra Ashe against ValHolla back. So that's another engage tool knocked out, and as well as Loki Doki's favorite support.
Yeah, I think Legends of the Rift, they'd have to draft some very high range champions, I think, to have any sort of chance. Deny the Mordekaiser the possibility of even death realming you, deny the possibility of Malzahar. The Sejuani does have a lot of reach though, but I think potentially something like a Ziggs could do well here. Something like maybe not Xerath. I don't think Xerath will have enough damage to contend with that. But if you're Kate, you just lane swap to mid. You only play, Vex and
Annie,
Veigar.
Lux.
Yeah. What do you play here? Lux, I think, is a complete trap into.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think mid lane has a chance of being effectual at all. Just because you have the tank, you have tanky Sejuani in the jungle and a Malzahar mid lane that you can't kill. So unless Kate can pop into something that does a lot of DPS, I don't know what their chances are. We do see the Maokai lock in. So that should be Maokai support, but then there's Senna, which means that might be Maokai top. Is Lucky aware of the current top meta and what Maokai fits into?
Yeah. 2015 anymore. It's not Maokai plus Poppy plus Echo top lane. It's in my opinion, as a Mordekaiser main, Maokai is probably one of, if not the easiest matchups possible for that champion. We do see the misfortune being picked by Loki Doki.
That double Comet bot lane, that's going to be oppressive.
Yeah, I think that's their answer to prevent any sort of long range to be, a harassment tool for Legends of the Rift. And the only weakness I can see in ValHolla back's arsenal is that, Misfortune is their only AD. Not to say they don't do tons of damage, though. We have a lot of burn damage coming out of Coach Dubs and Nixus. Blue Side also full of threat if they, itemize the Luden's Tempest alongside Nixus's Liandry's. It's going to be very hard to itemize against them. We have a Rakan.
This confirms Maokai top, Kayn jungle, and Tristana mid for Kate. This is something I have heard her talking about. Tristana, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but we got the Tristana mid. Now, Tristana Kayn is a really, really strong 2v2 that until Malzahar locks in that, or until he gets his ultimate, they're really strong. So that's a bright side.
I believe Legends of the Rift is just putting their entire hopes into Big Bad Hands Tristana. They basically just drafted 3 supports.
Well, then where are we going to... Is the Senna going mid for Kate?
No, I believe it should be Senna bot, right? And I think it's actually going to be Rakan mid for Bulldog Mentor. And I'm going to say Kate's actually mechanically gifted enough to make this work. However, that Rakan engage is going to be really hard to execute when you have Nixus's Malzahar ultimate to contend with. If anything, though, yeah, they basically, in my opinion, just drafted 3 supports. So Tristana will have the weight of the world on her shoulders for this game.
There is an issue if that is a Rakan mid, then which I know that's Kate's favorite champion, but if that, or Bulldog Mentor's favorite champion, but if that is a Rakan mid, Malzahar is the hardest pushing laner in the game, which means that he drops his Malefic Visions, his E, and his Voidlings on that wave, and then Rakan has to use their knockup to get rid of those. that's the only quick way of Rakan killing all three of those voidlings and stopping the push, which does leave them vulnerable. I don't know. I would love to hear the confirmation from Hernandez Teaches about where exactly these champions are going, because a Rakan mid, a Rakan mid is not what the doctor ordered, I think here. But like we
Is this
can,
a Draft Kingdom by ValHolla back? I mean,
I
it looks intimidating to play against, if I'm being honest.
this is draft Ragnarok. That is Rakan mid.
It is Rakan.
Well, we can put it this way: Rakan Kane is an insane mid 2v2,
Mhm.
where like if that Kane wants to go into Sejuani's jungle and take the whole thing, then they can. Like
Yeah.
the mobility, crazy here.
Yeah, Axion, if you're listening to me, it is now time to have the most insane Kane game of your life. It is time for this Kane and Tristana to just ascend to godhood and, 2v5 from the minute these summoners land on the Rift. Because if not, ValHalla backs just natural tools in their composition. The heavy CC, the Liandry stacking, the hard to itemize against composition. It's just going to overtake the game if left unchecked for too long.
I will put this in a bit of a lighter perspective and say that we do like Legends of the Rift does have tools to succeed. If we look at Lux MF bot lane, that's a really squishy lane. Like Tristana jumps on their heads, Halo Blades level 3 kills one of them. That sounds great to me. And then we can use the Kayn. They can use the Kayn to maneuver into some kind of dragon lead because they can have a stronger bot side before level 6. But as soon as level 6 hits for ValHolla back, that's when I have to be negative again, because the game is over. We've got a Mordekaiser R, we've got Malzahar, Sejuani. These are 5 of the most powerful iconic ultimates in League of Legends. That's a scary, scary team to play against. I wish there was a Sylas.
Silas could, plenty of ults to steal here for Silas. I don't believe Bulldog Mentor plays the champion though. And the only other thing I see is top lane is going to be weak sided into Oblivion. So I think if you're Legends of the Rift, you should plan to actually start top side, make your way bot side during the level 3, and coordinate that all in with the Tristana jump.
So that is an interesting point. Maokai, I am a season 4 Maokai main. So I remember the old ultimate where it sat around you and you kind of had this zone
Yeah, the
of
damage
like,
reduction zone.
yeah,
Yeah.
nobody touch me. I remember that. And I do remember playing top lane and just saying, jungle, come top. It's easy. My W, my twisted advance roots them for like 5 seconds, and then I'll knock them back. I'll slow them with my saplings. It's an easy gank for Kayn, and Kayn, he gets those red spirit orbs quicker fighting against the melee. So he just kind of zooms in there. Maokai CCs the Mordekaiser down before level 6. Easy kill.
Uh, I wouldn't say it was an easy kill. If Coach Dubs has the shield passive from Mordekaiser up fully, it's actually pretty possible for him to 1v2 as a Mordekaiser main myself. It's so sad that Maokai hasn't been in the meta as of late. I think I was asked recently a question as to what champions are probably worse for the meta right now, and I believe I said Cho'Gath and Maokai. And I think Maokai does have its spots in the bot lane as a support, but I have not seen Maokai top in years, which is just sad.
So I think we can bring in a bit of audience participation here. Oakmont Esports just said in the chat that ValHolla back is afraid of Yordles. And I think this is pretty accurate, seeing as we banned 4 Yordles and a little girl. So I think there's a ban gap here.
Yeah.
If the draft didn't go so well, the bans definitely went pretty well.
So, comment from Iron Athlete: they need Kane to scale Giga Heart. That's completely true. I believe, maybe level 18 Red Cane with Muramana and, Gore Drinker. It starts to become winnable, but you need to have a lead established if you're Legends of the Rift very early on so that you have the chance to even scale to, that part of the game.
And everybody really, like, I think anyone who has ever played against a Kayn knows that moment when the Kayn comes soaring into the back line and just is unchecked, no CC on them, and lays waste to the entire enemy team. This is not that game, unfortunately, because the top 3 champions on the top side for ValHolla back all have 2 of them have point and click no buttons. And Sejuani has a pretty hilarious baseball bat ability that, hopefully will hit on the Kayn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about that, though. Okay, we just got word from our illustrious Mr. Hernandez Teaches that we have a client bug, so it is going to take a little bit more time for these teams to hit the rift. We appreciate your patience, but now we're going to have more opportunities to discuss this draft in more detail. And I think I want to start with, I'm assuming it's going to be Cleaner 556's Senna, and I hope they don't build the Umbral Glaive first item into ValHolla back. I don't think that item does anything.
I think when you have a Maokai on your team and a Kayn who both kind of negate vision advantages because Kayn goes wherever he wants. And I believe, do you know how Kayn's vision works during his spectral form? He gets a lot of vision during that. So I'm not sure. I am a huge fan of the oh lord, the vision item on Senna. I forgot its name. But I guess you're right. I think they could go without it. They do need the damage, definitely.
Mm-hmm. I think I would say maybe Kraken Slayer on Senna, and or do you even go on hit Senna here and go Eclipse?
Not on a support budget. I don't think that that's possible. That's the thing is, and I gotta remember, what's the name of that vision item that Senna gets?
Umbral Glaive?
You just said it. Yeah, Umbral Glaive. That's actually a big part of her gold income. So without that, because she's kind of right now balanced to a degree around having Umbral Glaive, it's kind of an assumed purchase in the support role, I think. At least when you're not specifically starving yourself. Where, yeah.
I don't think lethality does much into ValHolla back's comp though, because you see Mordekaiser, Malzahar, Sejuani. I think when Malzahar has that Zhonya's Hourglass, no amount of lethality is going to cut through that. So I'm looking to see, less of the collectors, less of the Umbral Glaives, and more of the, let's see, Lord Dominic's Regards and Cyrilda's Grudges on the side of Legends of the Rift. I think Black Cleaver would be a really great option for Axion first, because that's a huge benefit for Cleaner 556 and Big Bad Hand.
So I will say that Big Bad Hand, or excuse me, that Lucky B212 with the Maokai, this isn't the worst place that Maokai has been in a few patches, because Demonic Embrace is a lot stronger than it was previously. Demonic plus the Sunfire Cape, that's pretty strong. I mean, unfortunately, Mordekaiser is going to be healing a lot, but if we get that Maokai into the back of, onto that Lux or onto that MF, I do still think that that's like a one fight for them. And we have things that can build that pathway for the Maokai to get back there. Just imagine, like, if we're theory crafting a team fight, we've got Maokai ult, split the enemy team. Rakan and Kayn. Kayn dashes over wall, Rakan E's to him, into the back line. I think that there are options. A Senna ultimate on top of it, Tristana jumping in. We've got a very mobile team that can do some skirmishes. Then it's up to ValHolla back to Malzahar ult the correct target, to Mordekaiser ult the correct target.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think Legends of the Rift can benefit a lot from death brushes and denial of vision because that's how you're going to catch Nyx's off guard. That's how you potentially get a chance of CC locking the Malzahar before he can, pop his ultimate. However, I think Coach Dubs in this specific position it's very hard to burst him down as a Mordekaiser. He's going to be able to have options. He can build the Zanya's Hourglass. He can build Gargoyle's Stoneplate. So I think the poke game is how you deal with Mordekaiser, but the all-in game is how you deal with Nixus. And it's going to be very nuanced for Legends of the Rift before, as to how they conduct themselves in a team fight. But I think it's just all up to the summoners at this point, honestly.
So Mordekaiser is actually one of those champions that has a pretty malleable build path right now because we have you can go for the standard build of the Riftmaker with the Demonic Embrace on top of it pretty easily, but Mordekaiser can go tank items, which I think would make them even more terrifying against Legends of the Rift because Maokai is not going to be doing much in lane. So we slap that Sunfire Cape on top of Mordekaiser. That's even scarier. There is a cheese build, which I don't expect to come out, but we've got some time, so I'm going to talk about it. There's a cheese build you can build on Mordekaiser by getting nothing but healing and shielding boost items, which makes your shield absurdly large. So I think it's the healing and shield. What's the healing support mythic right now?
It's Moonstone Renewer, right?
Moonstone Renewer. You put the Moonstone Renewer and Redemption on him. Point being, this Mordekaiser could go a couple different things because they've got a bit of a free lane, at least in the draft.
Yeah, honestly, if I was Coach Dubs, I would just want to go Hextech Rocket Belt into Death Cap into to penetration items and have like a bit of fun, right? Because who doesn't love being two shot by a Mordekaiser? But you're right. I feel like if Coach Dubs would like to opt to a more split push kind of build, he has the option to build the Nashor's Tooth. So dang, talking about these items, I just feel like AP items are just broken in this meta, especially after the durability patch.
I don't know if they're broken so much as I think it's just a really great spot for AP items to be in where you can build a bunch of different things. Thank goodness that we're not AD carries who, have to go the 3 crit items or the 3 on hit items. I, as a mid laner, perfectly enjoy getting to pick whatever mythic I want.
Yeah, and I think Mordekaiser, correct me if I'm wrong, is one of the only bruisers that can buy Zanya's Hourglass. I think Diana comes to mind, and Silas comes to mind, but I don't think any of them are as straightforward to play as something as a Mordekaiser. So I think that's part of the reason why Mordekaiser has seen so much success both on the Rift these last couple of patches and in Coach Rivals in both Tier 2 and Tier 1.
I personally think in this match especially we won't see them build a Mordekaiser build as Anya's Hourglass. Just because looking at that enemy team, I'm just thinking I need to run at them before they dash over that wall to like 3 of them. Which actually, when you said the Rocket Belt, I thought you were being totally serious because I look at that team and I'm like, I need to get in range because if I don't get in range of that Tristana, she's gone.
Did you know Rocket Belt actually synergizes with Rylai's Scepter? So if you build Rocket Belt Rylai's, the rockets that come out actually apply the Rylai's passive, and that's going to be a really great, engage tool for the Mordekaiser if he does opt into that build path. Just imagine, Tristana, just you're 1,200 units away, barely, you just barely have vision for Mordekaiser. He flashes forward and then rocket belts and then puts you in death room. What do you do?
I hear from your tone that this is something that you have done. The
Absolutely.
Mordekaiser missile. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Here's
so fun.
an interesting thing. So Mordekaiser ultimate, as well as some other ultimates that are coded not to do damage, actually still count as a tick of damage for some things. For instance, if you have Rylai's on Anivia, which you should not, and you Anivia wall someone, it will slow them. And same thing with Mordekaiser ultimate. If you Mordekaiser ultimate somebody, it will slow them, admittedly for like a second, but hey, that's something.
Yeah,
Same thing with Trundle Pillar, which I don't think anyone would ever notice that.
we
Yeah.
love Riot Spaghetti Code, don't we?
Yeah.
In Coach Rivals. I
So,
think. Mhm.
well, to bring this back into perspective, what are the records for these teams? What is the implication for this? And I know everyone goes to playoffs, but come on, we want to go to playoffs with a good record. What do we got?
And I believe the only stat I have for you guys is that ValHolla back is 3-1 and Legends of the Rift is 1-3. Correct me if I'm wrong. ValHolla back, I think, only had one loss to Paro Snacks in their first meeting together. And Legends of the Rift has got their first victory against Triforce Tryhards. But once again, when these two teams met for the first time, it was ValHolla back that came out with the victory.
We are looking at opposite score lines. You're correct. I was looking at the spreadsheet and I'm like, I don't know where this is. Pathfinder might. But looking at the score, looking at the score lines for these teams, we got ValHolla back at 4-1, like you said, and Legends of the Rift at 1-3, opposite sides of the spectrum. I'm really looking forward to getting into this game so that we can see if we're evening it up or splitting them even farther apart.
Oh, right. And we are into the Rift. These amazing skins for Legends of the Rift being on display. It is going to be. Wait, are they in the correct spots? Is that Cleaner 556 going mid Senna, or am I? No, it's not. Okay, we just had confirmation. Once again, it is going to be Bulldog Mentor mid. Oh, yeah, she just equipped the Electrocute as the rune of choice. But for these two teams, it is going to be a standard start with a 5-point. No invades here.
And that is beneficial for Legends of the Rift, because looking at a Kayn and a Rakan, we have a pretty weak level 1. These are champions that want to fight at level 2. But on the other side, you've got the Misfortune Slowfield, you've got the Lux Binding. It's really good that this started out as a 5-point.
All right, Lucky B212 with a red ward on the top side. The pings have come out. It is spotted by Coach Dubs. I think that is going to be a preemptive ward for Piper Maru's potential level 3 gank if they opt into it after blue buff. But so far, it's a standard start for ValHolla back. But on the opposite side of the map, it's going to be Axiom first with a leashless start on the red buff.
So this is an interesting choice. My resident Kayn fan, Dose, likes to especially let me or make me ward his Raptors whenever we're playing against a Kayn, because Kayn likes to start Raptors. That Q, the spinning slash, does really, really well starting on Raptors. So you can see cleared it incredibly quickly. And pretty quiet early game. I'm surprised that Legends of the Rift has the push right now, bot lane.
All right. Bit of a whiff from Bulldog Mentor coming out onto the mid lane, but Big Bad Hand uses the lane advantage he's got earlier on to put the Tristana bomb onto the wave as to get an early push in. I believe they know the Sejuani is going to be starting on the bot side, and I think they wanted to get the early level 2 just to prevent anything from happening. We do see not much health leads in the side of ValHolla back. Piper Maru, though, they're going to be pathing into the top lane. Let's see if the gank is about to happen.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about this.
All right, Lucky B212. They have the flash up, manages to get hit by Piper Maru, dodges the E with the flash. Really good gank attempt, but Lucky B212 uses the flash to get out. No summoners used on the side of ValHolla back.
That was very smart of Lucky B212 because if they hadn't have flashed, they would be dead right now.
Ooh, we have a trade coming down in the mid lane. Nyx is already taking a turret shot, manages to get the flash, Bulldog Mentor. That's going to be a win for the Rakan as we see Piper Maru clearing the top side Scuttle Crab.
And a CS advantage. Oh no, if Kayn hadn't have revealed themselves right there, that would have been an excellent gank.
Yeah.
Or counter gank.
All right, Piper Maru, though, they're going to be pathing down to the bot side. Kayn already starting the Raptors. Let's see if another trade comes up for... let's see who gets the top Raptor. It's going to be Piper Maru. Axion first is going to be left to dry. Bulldog Mentor's is going to be clued in, though. Where they take this 2v2, they know Piper Maru still has the flash, though. The Airborne comes out. Is the Ignite going to be coming down? Nope. Instead, it's just going to be a simple disengage.
That is so sad.
Yeah.
The way that Kayn set that big Raptor up, you would think that this is like a KFC commercial. That was some delicious chicken for the Sejuani. It's really unfortunate. Well, Kayn still has a pretty big CS advantage, and all it cost was his top laner's flash.
Yeah, and at least Lucky B212 will have that Maokai passive to maybe get something done in lane. I will say, though, I think Axion had the smite. He had the option to smite that camp away, but instead, no, it's going to be another back and clear for the Cade. Lucky B212 taken very low, though. That's going to be his final potion being chugged. Coach Dubs, meanwhile, having the level lead and a full health bar. Let's see if he wants to all-in this Maokai.
I'm sure as a top laner... Oh, that's unfortunate. That's an unfortunate set of moves while CSing. I was worried that he lost that entire creep wave.
Yeah, we do also see a significant CS lead in the top side, though. Axion, with a gank attempt onto Coach Dubs, gets spotted out by the ward, though. Coach Dubs pulls in the Kayn. Axion already losing 1/3 of his health. Lucky B212 not having the time of day. It is just going to be Axion getting a little bit of those orbs while Drake is being traded on the other side of the map.
This is where we see the double harassment from the Comet, as well as the push advantage on the Malzahar enables them to get this dragon. This is where Malzahar is most strong. People focus mostly on Malzahar's ultimate, but it's actually that pushing power. If you get lateral to the wave, if you get perpendicular to the wave and put down your Q, it hits the entire minion wave, all the melee and caster minions. And as you can see, Rakan can't clear the wave fast enough. What do you think is going to happen for the itemization on this Rakan?
This Rakan hasn't backed yet. I believe a couple of options. I don't think Bulldog Mentor should opt into a support item. Maybe an Everfrost, if I'm being honest. That could have some potential.
Yeah. I was thinking exactly the same thing. Either an Everfrost or a Rocket Belt. Either way to assist in lockdown.
All right. Coach Dubs with the engage onto the top side. Lucky with only 200 health remaining. They do have the teleport up. Let's see if they decide to use it. You know, Coach Dubs is level 6. They have the potential to all in with the Death Realm. They are going to be underneath the turret, though. Ooh, it's going to be really close. Lucky dodges out on that E, dodges the Q as well. This is going to be like some nail-biting action on the top side as we see Axion first. Clearing the control ward on mid. I think Nixus still has the ultimate and the passive shield up. I don't think a gank attempt would succeed here.
So, oh no, and that
okay, the charm is already down. Nixus already being ignited, but no, the turret completely obliterates Axion First's health bar there. No counterplay available. First blood to the Malzahar.
Axion first lives up to their name, giving away first blood, but Bulldog Mentor.
Oh, they just leveled up. They leveled up on the wave. Bulldog Mentor manages to secure the kill, though. What an incredible return kill for Bulldog Mentor. I did not expect that to happen. Nixus still had the flash up, but instead it's going to be the Rakan with the return kill.
Bulldog Mentor is, I'm glad they're playing Rakan, the lover, because I am completely in love with this mid lane Rakan. That was incredible.
And off screen, we see Coach Dubs getting the solo kill onto Lucky B212. Death Realm not even used. Piper Maru on the top side already stole the red buff from Axion first. Now this Kayn has got to get out of there. The Piper Maru's ult is going to be invested into Axion first, though. However, oh no, they can't get past the wall. They have the flashes away, Q's forward, Bulldog Mentor there to assist. It's going to be 2, but Bulldog Mentor is going to be in the Death Realm, trying to survive into the Mordekaiser. She's going to be taken pretty low, 200 health remaining. Will Mordekaiser be able to get the kill? Oh my god, what a clutch dash, but it comes at the cost of Bulldog Mentor's life. Piper Maru flashing away, so does Coach Dubs. Axion first though, Q's forward also taken out by Coach Dubs. Oh no.
That was an insane series of events. When the ashes are cleared, we have a Kayn who's 5 CS behind a Sejuani, and in dire straits, we have a Maokai top who cannot control the wave, and Rakan. There's a ticking clock on this champion where after a while you will not do any damage. You are a solo laner with lots of money, but with no damage.
Yeah, and I think a huge decider in that fight was that Axion first was not level 6 as a result of the gank mid lane. And he also opted into the blue smite instead of the red smite, which is a little bit off theme with Red Kayn. But yeah, I think Legends of the Rift threw everything they had at the Mordekaiser there, and he's just able to soak up all of the turret damage, just flashing away casually underneath the turret. That's just... what's the counterplay?
With this draft, I don't know. All I know... oh, and unfortunately, we see the Malzahar being completely ungankable. Because Rakan has no ranged abilities to speak of. All that can be blocked by the wave, and so there's no chance to break his shield before the gank. And here's the push in.
Oh, let's see. Lucky B212 does engage onto the Coach Dubs. That's going to be a positive trade for the Mordekaiser. We see a flash forward by Big Bad Hand. Both flashes already used on the bot side. Blue side taken pretty low. The heal is invested though. Axion first gank doesn't really pan out, but here comes Nixus. They already landed onto Big Bad Hand. Now the ult comes in. Will Axion first be able to get out? Nope, tagged by the Lux. It's going to be a double kill by the Misfortune. And it's only 11 minutes, folks, but we have a 5k gold lead in favor of ValHolla back here.
Man, and that top lane, I'll tell you, Coach Dubs is really taking Lucky to school right now. This is rough. I am looking at... I'm trying to find the bright side here. And Kayn has gotten off some good ganks, but I don't think they know when to stop. Because this is the second time that they've wound up under an enemy turret and then had Malzahar clean up.
And unfortunately, a no laner on the side of Legends of the Rift have a gold lead into their counterparts on ValHolla back. It is hard to find some optimism if you are a Legends of the Rift fan right here, as you know, I don't think the win cons are going to be there for much longer for Legends of the Rift. We see
Mordekaiser's ultimate is up.
Yep, Axion first in the Death Realm, gonna be hit by Mordekaiser's full combo. He just doesn't care. Oh, the Kayn is going to be completely smashed. Mordekaiser still having a health lead. Lucky B212 also taken low. Will there be another kill for the Mordekaiser? Nope. The Maokai taken very low though, but we see an all-in attempt onto Cleaner 556. They flashed out. We see the Herald also being put down mid lane. Nixus's passive tanks the turret shot. Let's see if Piper Maru opts into an all-in. It's going to be Bulldog Mentor knocking the Sejuani up, but Nixus is the one tanking the wave. And both of them managed to get out. Bulldog Mentor being stunned up by Piper Muru's ult, though. That's going to be another kill for the Sejuani. If you guys see, Nixus's Liandries were still ticking onto Bulldog Mentor, and I believe that's how they got the lethal threshold there.
This is, on one hand, unfortunate, but on one hand, very fortunate for ValHolla back.
Yeah, we see another kill attempt though. Nyx is finally going to get taken down by Axion first. The Kayn ult is the one that secures the kill. Piper Maru on the bot side of the map. Cleaner556 doesn't have the flash available. Big Bad Hand also sunless in the bot side of the map. Senna is taken down to 100 health. Let's see when Piper Maru is going to pull the trigger here, if they're going to pull the trigger here. Yep, the Sejuani is going to be walking up. Cleaner556, no flash, and it's going to be Piper Maru on a killing spree.
That's where those Sejuani buffs come in. But is there pig on the menu? Is this going to turn into a roast boar?
Ooh, here comes Kayn. They completely... they had to flash out to dodge the combo from Blue Side and Loki Doki, but there was, you know, a shred of light there for the Kayn.
So I actually think that that's something that's been happening all game for Big Bad Hand. Big Bad Hand had some advantages early into the game and just didn't pull the trigger. And there, didn't follow with the Kayn. Could have jumped into it. Could have made a play there. But
Yeah,
right now, all we see is Mordekaiser getting free turret plates top. Bot lane getting free turret plates.
Watch forward by the Mordekaiser. A response from Lucky B212. They're gonna be smashed though. It's the level 11 Mordekaiser versus level 9 Maokai. No chance at all. Coached Up goes unstoppable with that play. I think Lucky tried to use the Maokai like dash to dodge the Q. It was a valiant attempt and it worked once, but not on the second time.
It is extremely unfortunate, but we see a Mordekaiser who this was a blind pick Mordekaiser, right?
Yeah, and this is just like, you know, the power of this champion. They're 5-0-1, 700 gold shutdown. They are even able to itemize plated steel caps and the bramble vest to completely counter Kayn this early into the match. We see another engage from Big Bad Hand. They're level 7 to Blue Side's level 9 though. No more dash from the Tristana. Blue Side goes on a killing spree with that play. Make that a double kill as they finalize the kill onto Cleaner556.
That we see some nerves here. I think that Legends of the Rift, they don't need to see the gold advantage to know what's going on in this game. I think really right now what we can get from this game is, can ValHolla back close this one out efficient? Because you know how these tier 2 games go. We might see Piper Maru under that tier 2 going way too deep, turning into some kills. We might see
we see another engage from Piper Maru and Coach Dubs. The quick double kill from the Mordekaiser. We couldn't even see it from the caster's desk. We have the Rift Herald being summoned in the mid lane by Piper Maru. The gold lead is just completely ballooned out of control. 12k in 16 minutes. That is something to contend with.
Oh, but the Rift Herald is way too occupied killing melee minions to be interested in the turret. Can they clear it? Oh, Lucky!
Oh no, Lucky. I think Coach Dubs. Oh, will they be able to get out?
Valiant. That's a really great escape right there. A lot of people don't know this, but Maokai's Q is a 360-degree knockback. Oh, and the snipe from Cleaner556.
Yeah, and Piper Maru attempting lethal onto mid here. Oh my god, that turret completely took out Blue Sky. I believe that was a 2-shot on the Misfortune as the Mordekaiser leaves the game. Shutdown for the Rakan as they get the kill down onto Piper Maru's Sejuani. Maybe a ray of hope?
Do we see a fiesta in the cards? I do live in New Mexico. I can go get some food from my fridge right now, and we can make this an actual fiesta.
Yep. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Better call Saul. But now we have Lucky B212 on the top side. It's going to be a huge objective bounty if Axion first gets the smite off on this dragon. Loki Doki not able to use the ultimate to secure it. And the gold lead's been slightly diminished down to 9k. I think now if you're gonna be Legends of the Rift, you have to just extend the game, turtle as much as possible, and farm as much as possible to have any hope of scaling.
And I have 4 words for you for hope for Legends of the Rift. Those words are Red Cane, Blue Sword. Look at his inventory.
Yep, and I was also gonna say instead of Red Cane Blue Sword, we also have Objective Bounty. Perhaps another one. And now we are back to the face cams.
Yep.
I believe is this because the okay, we have confirmation. This is because Coach dubs them on the Mordekaiser. Their internet is out, and they are currently AFK. If you, this is a solo queue game, this is exactly what the doctor ordered for Legends of the Rift. Take the Mordekaiser out of the game for 10-15 minutes in the timeout, and then maybe you can scale and come back.
I will say that as much of a gold advantage as Coach Dubs has, Lucky B212 will always be able to root someone, knock someone back, do percent health damage on their E, and their ultimate will always block off an entire lane's worth of real estate. So as behind as they are, kind of the same for Bulldog Mentor, these are two champions that are useful no matter how little gold they have.
Yep, quick reminder to people who follow the LEC, G2 Esports managed to throw a lead of 13,000 gold. I'm not saying that this is going to be what's going to happen tonight, but I think there is just that little bit of hope for Legends of the Rift. If they can get, one or two more Drakes, objective bounties, and have Coach Dubs run it down a little bit for them, that's when you start getting, oh no, Kane has Muramana, he does damage now, and that's when he can start assassinating the backline, even as a red Kane.
And we saw a little bit of that, throw mentality just a minute ago when MF took 2 of the hottest turret shots that I have ever seen, doing like 500 health worth of damage. Thank you. The pig warmed that up for her. And then, as I said earlier, I swear to God, I predicted it, that Sejuani died underneath a tier 2 turret. So
yeah, I think that turret is definitely, the first hit on the Misfortune was a crushing blow, and then the second one was a fatality. If any of you are into fighting games, but 2-shot from the turret. I believe turret. On the subject of turrets, past the durability patch, they had gotten a damage buff, right? And I still think though, the way you counter turrets in this meta is to just build a lot of armor. You see a lot of Sejuani's all-in attempts under the turret. Same with Mordekaiser, and it didn't seem to be hitting them that much. But once the Misfortune came up and tanked, it was just bam, nuke goes off.
yeah. And Mordekaiser at this point does have, what's that, 30 to 40 armor. He's got 30 from the blade mail, and then another 30 from the boots. So he's got a good bit of armor.
Yeah, and if he has conditioning, he also has the passive, like a rune
12.
armor rune choice. Yeah,
Yep.
he could be going upwards of like 120 armor at this stage of the game, and I think that's just completely broken considering it's just level 12. He also gets a lot of natural resistances just from his scaling, because Mordekaiser very stat checky, very stat heavy champion, and I think Sejuani is also going to be in the same camp.
There are 2 abilities on 2 champions that I really don't think anyone has ever read, and that's Darius's Apprehend and Mordekaiser's E, which I can't quite.
Death's Embrace, I believe it's called.
Yeah, I think
Or
it's Grasp.
Death's
Yeah.
Grasp. But yeah, both of those
Yeah.
abilities provide percentage armor reduction or magic resist reduction in the case of Mordekaiser. And this is such a broken ability for Mordekaiser because it basically makes him invulnerable to tanks because he passively shreds their magic resist, and once you pair that with a demonic embrace, you start going into no counterplay territory once he's 1,000, 2,000 gold up ahead against his lane opponent.
Yeah, the percent health true damage. You know those old Vayne memes.
Yeah, and Fiora
Oh
nowadays.
Lord. Oh no. That is
Uh,
something. I mean, we have a moment here.
mhm.
Uh, I'm curious if anyone in chat remembers old Fiora. I saw this on the Discord, the Coach Rivals Discord recently. But that old Fiora build, and the old ultimate where she would just fly through the entire enemy team, slicing randomly. That's the kind of thing that that Legends of the Rift could use right now, I would say.
Fun fact about Fiora, I believe they are the only champion to have a pentakill on the world's final stage. And I believe this was Bin versus or Suning Esports versus Damwon
That was
Esports.
Damwon. Yeah, that
Yep.
was the year Damwon won. And Bin put up a world class performance there. I really thought we were gonna get those little cute tiger emotes of the Suning logo. I was praying for that, and then Suning stopped being Suning, so that was kind of
Yeah,
unfortunate.
they banned Fiora,
Yeah.
or at least they didn't play it anymore. But I think that in and of itself is a testament to the fact that Fiora is always going to be relevant in a high elo kind of environment where you can use the raw mechanical skill to get all of the vital procs. And talking about MSI, T1 lost to RNG. That's going to be a very spicy matchup once we get to see Worlds, which is coincidentally going to be in the United States. And your boy Pathfinder is going to the LCS finals in Chicago. So if any Coach Rivals members are watching there right now, be sure to hit me up if you want to meet up in Chicago.
I thought the finals were going to be in San Fran.
Oh,
But
I
enough
think
talk
that
about Worlds. Do you want to see more of this game? I want to see how this game ends. I want to. Oh, we're
oh
going to a
actually,
break before that.
yeah, our Mr. Illustrious Hernandez teaches is going to confirm that break for us. Do you know how long that break is going to be, by the way? You know, okay, unsure clients being buggy. So hopefully we have the spaghetti code all cleaned up by then, as we will now commence the break.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. The game is on pause right now. Hopefully, we don't have a 3 hour delay like LEC did a couple weeks ago. But just to give some information, the client is being a little bit buggy. We had somebody get disconnected from the lobby and then is having trouble getting back into the same lobby. So we're not sure why that is, but the team is trying to work on that. So until that happens, I am back. We got Pathfinder and Key Kitty Key. There is some speculation, Key Kitty Key, that you joined the casters in the last week of the season just so you can confirm how to pronounce your name and where you got it from. So,
Oh Lord.
is that true? And also, how'd you get this name?
So I would say that that is not entirely true. It is a little perk, I guess. Um, but how I got this name was that um, I was learning Spanish in high school. I actually didn't have Spanish class. I was learning Spanish in high school, and uh, I was hanging out with some of my friends who spoke Spanish, like with their family, and I was over at their house studying. And we got to this word in the textbook that was kikiriki for cockadoodle doo. And uh, I went, like, every once in a while there'd be a word that that my friend didn't know. And so he'd ask his mom and be like, is this really a Spanish word? This doesn't sound right. I've never heard anyone in the family say this. And for this one, no one said that it was correct, especially the spelling, because it was spelled like this. And so it is, as far as I know, a pretty bizarre Spanish word that also just has a million Q's in it. So it's kind of cool.
So, just trying to study Spanish, and the Spanish book just made up this word.
Yep,
Well,
basically.
well, that's crazy. Obviously, my name is Mr. Hernandez, and I teach, so it just came out of everything. But Pathfinder, how about you? How did that come out?
Oh, I have so many like stories about people asking me, "Oh, do you drive a Nissan Pathfinder? Is it the Apex Legends character, or is it the Pathfinder game from gosh knows how long ago?" But it's actually not. It's actually a reference to Mass Effect Andromeda. The main character, Scott or Sarah Ryder, they're referred to as a Pathfinder in the game, and that's gonna be my one of my favorite games, favoritist games I've ever played. So
All right,
that's
and we're back
yeah.
to the game.
We're
So actually,
back.
that was
There we
fun.
go.
And I'm
Woo!
leaving back to
Okay.
our casters.
All right, we have Nixus maybe trying to make a play onto the mid side. Axion first, also on mid. They're three mid strong here. Blue team. Bulldog Mentor manages to clear out the last few remnants of that wave, but another one's already going to be coming up.
So for a moment, can we look at the CS numbers for the mid lane and see that I've been ranting?
Oh, well, that CS lead is going to diminish a little while as Bulldog Mentor gets completely lasered during that engage. Blue side goes unstoppable. Kane not long for this world. But yeah, it is very, surprising considering that Bulldog Mentor did not have a pressure advantage in the mid lane. Yet they're able to keep up with this Malzahar in terms of CS.
Oh
Same
yeah,
with the Kane.
definitely a bright spot. But losing an inhibitor tower before 20 minutes is unfortunate. I earlier in the game I questioned whether or not ValHolla back would be able to finish this game out cleanly, and this is one of those elements that's necessary for that clean.
I think if you're a Church of LS member, you would actually say let ValHolla back get that mid lane inhibitor so you have more farm down in the mid lane. You can turtle much better. They don't opt to get the inhibitor though. It is going to be Lucky B212 defending the mid turret alongside Axion first as a scrap is going to come out over the Krugs, but Coach Dubs wins out in the end.
And Axion First does have their smite up. So
Oh.
that could have been a nice victory there. I would actually really. Oh,
Yeah, I think Legends of the Rift, they want to make a play onto the Mordekaiser here. That's going to be the Charm Up by Bulldog Mentor, the knockup also. Coach Dubs is going to bring Axion first into the Death Realm. The Q does not land though, but Axion's first W does land. It's going to be a flash away from Coach Dubs. He gets the shield. Will there be a shutdown? Yes, it will. It goes to the Rakan. It's going to be another 2v2 mid though. Big Bad Hand trying to get Blue Sai, but managed only to get the heal. Cleaner 556 trying to survive in the backline. It's going to be yet another double kill for Blue Sai.
so as much grief as I have given Bulldog Mentor for having a pick that doesn't necessarily have priority in the fights, she has been on point, locking down that 1,000 gold bounty.
All right. I will say though, yeah, this Rakan, when they don't really have that much CC to hinder the movement within the team fights, Bulldog Mentor's execution has been pretty immaculate. Considering the fact that this Mordekaiser had 1,000 gold shutdown, 1,000 gold. That means Rakan is going to be able to complete more penetration items. We see the Rocket Belt being completed there, as well as the penetration boots. I believe they're going to be opting into either the Shadow Flame or Death Cap on Rakan.
I would say so. I think Shadow Flame is not a bad option, seeing as two members of the enemy team have shields, and the base penetration is what we're looking for.
Ooh, that misfortune really hurts. That Eclipse proc on Cleaner 556, yet Bulldog Mentor's already going to be in the backlines, cancels the Misfortune ult. The flash is going to be out though. My bad, not canceling the Misfortune ult. Turns out the Misfortune did not ult at all, and as a result, it's going to be a triple kill for Blue Side.
So this is where a tier 1 team would run it down mid lane to get that dub. But we see that, ValHolla back is hesitant here. They don't necessarily want to finish this out so
Nixus gets the kill on the Tristana on the backside of the fight. It was a valiant attempt by Bulldog Mentor. I believe the engage was to preemptively cancel the Misfortune ultimate, and I think Blue Side did really well in punishing the Rakan engage by holding the ultimate, and that's how they were able to get out the triple kill. But talking about stat leaders, I think Blue Side now has the KDA lead, except for the Lux. We see an engage onto Nixus though. Axion first coming in with the Kayn ultimate. Coach Dubs already in the Death Realm with Axion first, but Axion just goes over the wall. Pull manages to not land. Let's see now, 3 people onto Coach Dubs. The knockup from Bulldog Mentor does not land. Axion first does follow up with the knockup. It's going to be a really lengthy fight. Let's see if Coach Dubs can get anything. The rest of ValHolla back is already abandoning the Mordekaiser, but what are they doing? Nixus is back in. Now the Lux snipe comes in. Axion first taken very low. Piper Maru's ult hits the Rakan. Bulldog Mentor finally falls at the hands of Piper Maru. Let's see if Cleaner 556 and Axion first manage to escape. I think Piper Maru has enough for a dash to Cleaner 556, but does not connect the baseball bat ability, like we said earlier. Now Big Bad Hand in the fight alongside of Lucky B212.
Coach Dubs is so clean and so fed. There's no killing this Mordekaiser.
I believe this has been the longest fight in Tier 2 so far. Coach Dubs still on, surviving. That's going to be the ult thrown down to Lucky B212. Forces the flash from the Mordekaiser. Low health bars all around though. Bulldog Mentor is going to be up in 2 seconds. They push their luck by pushing this inhib turret. Let's see, Big Bad Hand prepared to defend this inhib turret. Bulldog Mentor goes in with the knockup. Coach Dubs is going to be shut down, but that's going to be at the cost of Bulldog Mentor's life. Gray screen once again for the Rakan. See if Lucky B212 can defend. No, it's going to be 2 inhibitors down for blue team.
With 2 waves pushing, I don't see how this isn't the end. The health bars, they have them, but they're just too cautious right now. They're worried about that Kayn coming up.
Yeah, we do see slightly low health bars from Nixus and as well as Loki Doki. They do opt in for the recall. I think if you're in the World's Finals here, you still want the safety of a Baron buff. before you want to end the game, and that's completely respectable. But now with Coach Dubs is online, Axion first managing to clear out those Krugs. Maybe if they can hit level 13, their luck might start changing, but not much light at the end of the tunnel here.
So there is one glimmer of hope, and that is that Legends of the Rift has their Senna out to get vision, and ValHolla back does not have incredible vision right now around this Baron. So Kane, one of the easiest Baron stealers in the entire game.
Oh my gosh, Cleaner 556 getting hit by Goku's combo. Piper Maru is really hungry for this kill, gets the kill onto the Sana. The Sejuani's on a rampage. Piper Maru also able to get the red buff. Axion first trying to clear out the mid wave. There's going to be a lot of pressure down in the bot side of the map for the Legends of the Rift, actually. It was correct the first time, but now we see the Baron being started.
And Loki Doki, I think they heard that post earlier on the Discord about how, Lux can be a Death Star laser, and took it personally. Because, oh my goodness, it's doing so much damage.
Yep, it's going to be 1 minute and 30 seconds for Drake Soul, though. I don't think Legends of the Rift need it. ValHolla back needs it to secure the game. Loki Doki securing vision around that top side of the map. It looks like they're opting in to siege this turret. We see another engage onto Piper Maru. Bulldog Mentor with the follow-up. The charm lands. But Piper Maru's so dang tanky. Axion first, using the blue smite to try to slow them down. But Piper Maru's already out. Dodges the Kane knockup. It's going to be 3 people on the top side for ValHolla back.
We see the advantage of the Sejuani passive. For those of you who don't know, Sejuani has an insane amount of armor at the beginning of fights.
Right, it's going to be a 4v3, but blue side goes legendary, already taking down Bulldog Mentor. The Misfortune ulting in the back line. Nixus on a killing spree. The ult does not land for Sejuani, but it doesn't matter. Nixus gets killed, but immediately right after, it's going to be an ace for ValHolla back.
That's the ace, that's the game. Close it up, wrap it up with a bow. And that's a clean 5-1 record for ValHolla back.
Yep, they're going to be coming into the playoffs very, very positive. 5-1 is probably as good as a record that you can get, owing to the fact that Poro Snacks is currently 3-1.
And I think on one hand, we see wonderful things that ValHolla back can build on in playoffs, where blind picking a Mordekaiser, just, laying it out on the table and saying, hey, come at me. Do you have anything to counter this? And Legends of the Rift, on the other hand, I think we see some draft errors that need to be corrected going into playoffs, which luckily in a best of series they'd be able to work with.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think ValHolla back's strategy of choking the mid lane's champion pool has been proven to be pretty effective. As you can see, the Rakan was a comfort pick for Bulldog Mentor, but unfortunately, they could not turn that comfort pick into a pressure or kill advantage in the mid lane.
So I would actually say that of the members of Legends of the Rift, Bulldog Mentor had a standout performance this game. The damage, the solo kill, the engage presence, they were there at the correct time. They were CSing well again in a matchup they shouldn't have been able to. But we see that ValHolla back has 5 lanes that can do that. They've got 5 players that can do that with comfortable champions that work together well in a team.
Yep, and it's going to be, ValHolla back looks really, really strong coming into playoffs. That's going to be one of the things that other teams need to contend with. Okay, if we meet ValHolla back, which, presumably they would go to finals based on this result, how do we counter that? I think the only strategy that has worked against them in the past was the 1-3-1 that Poro Snacks executed. But I think Justin, their coach, they've done a lot of work to work on potential weaknesses on the team. As we see, Nyx is also coming in with a pretty good performance this match, but also being introduced to the brand mid in other matches. But talking about the members of Legends of the Rift, I do have to also applaud Axion first, even though he was slightly behind on Kane during the earlier sides of the game. He still managed to play aggressively, try to force errors from the Sejuani, try to, put ValHolla back out of their comfort zone when they're, in invades or during 2v2s and ganks. So very good effort from Saxon there.
So I like to go by, especially when I'm working with teams that are, not spending that much time together. We've only had 6 weeks. Is KISS. Keep it super simple. Uh, Pick champions like Sejuani, Malzahar that can start a fight with a button. We just press that one and we win the fight. That's what every other team in Tier 2 needs to get from this team and this game.
All right. Before we go to break, we'd like to shout out our sponsors. Uh, have to pull it up. Yeah. We want to thank our partners who help make something as amazing as Coach Rivals happen. Let's start with WeThink. WeThink is providing several grants to our competitors this summer for participating in our team building surveys. And now Esports Gear has designed our ridiculously awesome summer jerseys. Moi has bought one of them, and portions of those sales go to our nonprofit, the Phoenix Gaming Foundation. So if you're, holding back on buying one of those jerseys, don't. I swear to God, you would not be disappointed. Our Patreon server and Twitch subscribers, we just like to let you know your donations go straight to the nonprofit funds as well. And we'd like to thank Group. Group is just an all-around great training tool for pregame and postgame, especially for, coach rivals when we don't have that much time to practice with each other. You can use Group to improve your play in Summoner's Rift. We'd also love to promote the game's online harassment hotline. It's a free text message-based, confidential, emotional support hotline for gamers. So if you have a Teemo that's running it down, or a Draven, or if you're just experiencing toxicity or need help with your own in-game tilt, you can reach out to them to chat. And with that, we'll see you for next game, which I believe is Port Snacks versus Triforce Tryhards. Believe so.
We've got just a few minutes for that. Stick around.
All right, viewers, we are back and we're going straight to picks and bans here. It's going to be Triforce Tryhards against Poro Snacks. Now, the first time these two teams met, Poro Snacks did have the side selection and the victory. So let's see what Triforce Tryhards have in this specific match to try to counter Poro Snacks.
I'm really looking forward to this match. I think that these teams, the score line is kind of lying. I think that they're a lot closer because we've seen some development, uh, like within the season. You know, like those first couple games, throw them out the window. It's about who's better on the day.
Yeah, and we have, a lot of spicy picks. We see that Sejuani came out last game, and coincidentally, now Black Beetle 13, they also play Sejuani top. And we like to say that he's a very important trendsetter here because as soon as he started playing Sejuani top for us in Tier 2, top Korean teams started to lock Sejuani top. Same with teams in the LPL. So maybe they've been looking at Black Beetle 13's gameplay for inspiration.
Yeah, it's the stream sniping. What you gonna do?
Mm-hmm. Uh, Also, another update: we have Pac-Man Monarch back. Believe 2 weeks ago they were out and were subbed in by Lecce, and Jubilus was on, jungle duty, and now we see the Shyvana band that's in to target Swoko. That's probably going to be his best champion. We have the response by Porosonex. It's going to be Yasuo. All right, instant Lilia ban as well from Triforce Tryhards. This draft is going pretty quickly now. I think Poro Snacks, they're deciding if they want to ban out more champions for Jubilus, and yeah, it's gonna be the Yone. Let's see what Triforce Tryhards opt in for their a third ban here.
I'm guessing Diana. I think if they're gonna two ban Swoko, why not three ban him? Knock out that third pick. Super strong right now.
Yeah, and I think Diana has a multitude of build options as well. We see, oh no, it's actually going to be the Mordekaiser being taken away by Triforce Tryhards. I think they know they're on the blue side, so that it's the onus is not on them to ban out the Diana because Jubilus does play out the Diana, and it is going to be responded by Poro Snacks. They are going to be the ones to ban out the Diana. So now Triforce Tryhards, they have a multitude of options. They can start with Merlin's Jin. I think that could be an option that they want to pick into. I believe Dave likes Zyra in general. Oh, it's actually going to be Sejuani top by Triforce Tryhards.
Excellent pick. Just a great overall flex pick between two roles. Really strong in the meta, and it gives the other team nothing.
Okay, it's going to be Ash picked up by Poro Snacks. I believe that Ash is also a flex pick. It's going to be the Kale being picked up by Slipstream. They know their Mordekaiser is banned, so they're wanting to pick the Kale early to facilitate a lot of the to anti-facilitate Jubilus as champions. So it's going to be the Twitch being responded to here potentially. Merlin has been practicing this champion lately. And it also is going to be the Volibear for Pac-Man Monarch. But as we've discussed earlier, the Volibear has just got quite a big nerf, both in all roles, especially in jungle.
Triforce Tryhards has a very strong team right now.
Yep,
That's a strong three ban.
it is going to be the Garen being picked up by Coach Magros there. I believe that's in response to the Sejuani top. It's very interesting to see the matchup between Garen and Sejuani. Let's see what Poro Snacks is going to ban on their fourth ban.
I guess there was no real illusion of Kale going top, was there?
Yep,
That's
and
a
instead it's
strange
going to be
ban.
the Master Yi ban. I believe that's in response to Jubilus playing Master Yi mid, or he played Master Yi in the jungle before, but I think they're afraid of him taking the pick mid. We also see the Akshan ban for Jubilus, and I think it is a good ban if you're into Kale. You don't like that ranged harass early on in the game. And Triforce Tryhards, they're rounding off their draft with a Kayn ban and a Lux ban.
That's a smart Lux ban. Lux, Ash, that double Comet bot lane we saw it last game. It was no fun to play against.
Yeah, very interesting to see what jungle Porosnax is going to opt into. I believe Swoko also plays Graves. That's an option for him to pick in this situation. And no, and actually, they're not going to pick the jungle first. It is going to be, in fact, the Vel'Koz for Poro Snacks. I believe that's intended for Coach Mustang, and I think they preemptively picked the Vel'Koz to try to deny Zyra because Vel'Koz is a known Zyra counter because of the range, and it's going to be Jubilus on the Veigar. It's going to be a Veigar Kale matchup, I believe, in the mid lane, unless it's going to be a Veigar support, which we don't see often.
This is an unfortunate setup for Poro Snacks right now. They have 0 engage, and Swoko, from what I remember playing with him, does not draft engaged champions. This guy wants to carry. On the other side, the Triforce Tryhards, how's Kale gonna get out of a Vygar box? How's she
That's
gonna get out of a Sejuani ult? There's no hope.
Yeah, it's by pressing R and walking straight into the box. That's how you basically have to do it. It's gonna be actually the Lulu being picked up by Triforce Tryhards. It's gonna be a Twitch Lulu. I will say that it does look like a very effective team fighting composition for Triforce Tryhards. In the meantime, Horo Snacks still not able to pick the jungler. Let's see what champion they opt into for the last pick. Graves?
Come on, a dash and a stun. That's what we're looking for. You can tell they're thinking about it. And you called it the Graves. We've got a quad 80 carry comp for Poro Snacks.
All right. I believe with this kind of composition, Poro Snacks is looking to execute a more of a 1-3-1 composition. I think the split push is probably going to be the best bet for them, owing to Triforce Tryhard's, just huge amount of team fighting tools available to them. That Twitch Lulu is going to be hard to contend with unless you have that perfect Ash arrow from downtown with Vel'Koz engage. I think Poro Snacks have done that specific engage sequence with success before in tier 2, but it's going to be very interesting to see how they're going to execute the rest.
This is a very strong 1v1-3-1 comp. We see the Ash, Vel'Koz, Graves. They can even clear Baron minions if they have to. They can lock down that middle lane. I'm more worried about the Predator Volibear, the Predator Vygar, the Invisible Twitch, the Sejuani that can come out of nowhere and either kill the one, kill the 3, or kill the other one. So it's going to be tough.
Slipstream and Magros, though, I think especially Coach Magros, he has the potential to opt into Hullbreaker here. That's going to make his escapes a lot more, it's going to make him easier to go in and out of these split push situations because, Garen does naturally itemize movement speed items. He likes the Stride Breaker, he likes Mortal Reminder, he likes Dead Man's Plate. So, I am looking forward to see these items on the Garen, having the Formula 1 car fantasy come true for Coach Magros. I think that's going to be something that it's going to be hard for Triforce Tryhards because they'd have to, sacrifice, like you said, the, the Predator or, Pac-Man Monarch would have to itemize Turbo Chem Tank for them to be able to even catch up to the Garen.
And I kind of am thinking of, have you seen the meme with the guy with his hands like this and he's like, you get this, I get this? Well, right now, Poro Snacks, their thing is, you kill my Garen, Kale takes 2 turrets bot lane, Like, that's what they're going for. They're going for this cross-map trade because, let's look at this as a 5v5. If Poro Snacks is going to this thinking they're going to win a 5v5, they are mistaken. And I really hope we don't see that.
Yeah, and I think the only environment where Poro Snacks can come out as a victor in a team fight is where you have the stacked Kale, they're already past level 16, and you kind of bait Triforce Tryhards into using their engage tools without even being caught out. That's when the range of Vel'Koz will starts to matter. That's when Cartera's Ash can rain down the volley of arrows to slow people down, and that's going to buy time for the Kale to finally do the DPS in the middle of the team fight. But another thing that I'm going to touch upon here is Slipstream now has a choice to go either AD Kale with Kraken Slayer build or AP Kale. And what would you prefer here?
Let's do some simple mathematics, chat. You can do it with your fingers too. Count the AD characters other than Kale on the team. We've got Ash, presumably, Garen, and then Graves. Which we're all, a lot of us are educators here. We can go and count that if we don't want to add a fourth to that. So I would go for the AP build. Generally reserving the Rift Maker. You go straight for the Nashers. You slap on Rabadons onto that, and then maybe later look for the Rift Maker. You get those attack speed boots. That's what we need here, and that'll feel better into the Vigar because an AD character is going to be a bit squishier. You're not going to have the healing on your W. You're going to have way more burst, so Vigar doesn't get 2 rounds of spells off. It's also going to feel better against the Sejuani. There's a lot of good reasons here.
Yeah, and I think I have to agree with you on that. Rabadon's second item is going to be a tall order to complete, though. Generally, maybe if you're playing safer, you would maybe opt into the Zanya's Hourglass, perhaps Wit's End or Banshee's Veil to counter the one shot potential that Jubilus might have. I will say though, I think post 6, Merlin is going to have some sort of difficulty landing the Vigar cage onto the Kale because Kale, they don't really have they're not necessarily how do you say, they don't want to be in the front side of the team fight.
So the way that I'm looking at it is that Kale has, first of all, she has no choice about it with if Vigar has Predator. Plus, Vigar is not looking to stun Kale. That's a wonderful thing. If any of you are looking to play Vigar in solo queue, sometimes you're not trying to land the edge of your stun. You're just trying to buy time for your very, very fast electric bear to arrive. And Space Jam slam dunk into the box. So that's my perspective on it. But I think they just have so many tools to counter the 1-3-1 that unless Coach Magros builds a solo lane advantage, I don't know if they'll be able to unlock. Because if we put Graves and Garen up there and they kill Sejuani a couple times, then we can have a pressure point. Because Kale is not going to be a pressure point for a long time.
Yeah, and I think the pressure point from Garen also comes to the fact that his ultimate does true damage, right? So the lethal range for Garen is going to be a much higher than say last game when we see the Maokai and the Kane. So I think more potential is there, and I think one of the ways Poro Snacks can bait Black Beetle is to have the Sejuani blow all of her cooldowns in a trade, but then have the Graves, pop over the bush and say, what's up? Puts down the W, lands the electrocute combo, and maybe that's how you manufacture the lethal. Because also Garen, they like to take Ignite into most of their matchups owing to the movement speed on their Q, so they don't really need that teleport.
And if they're committing to 1-3-1, then what's the point of having the teleport? Especially, build a hull breaker or whatever. I would like to focus on Triforce Tryhards and this kind of concept that Mark Z talked about recently in a video, which is having shells and having little combos that work very well on your team. And I think that's something Triforce Tryhards did. You can take any 2 characters on their team and see how they synergize. Sejuani and Vigar. Vigar puts down the cage. Sejuani fires her ultimate right in the middle. Lulu Twitch is pretty self-explanatory. Lulu Volibear, that's a fast magical electric bear now. There's lots of that.
Yeah, and I would say the pressure is onto Poro Snacks to create a lead before you have the Twitch with a 2-item power spike at level 13 plus, before Sejuani, starts coming and, just completely screwing up their day in these Drake fights. And I think even if Volibear is sort of nerfed in this patch, she's still going to bring a lot of value for Triforce Tryhard. Let's not forget, this bear has been terrorizing the Rift for about, 3 or 4 patches now. Has been the premier jungle for all ranks since probably 12.8.
And do we have a poll already going in chat about a prediction poll? Well, we can get one going very simply. Uh, let's see. We got this beautiful production value. Everybody hands together for Robbie here. Uh, and tell us whether you think TT win or PS win here in the chat. As we see these two incredible teams take each other on.
All right, and we actually see Pac-Man Monarch opted not for the Predator. It is going to be Jubilus on the Predator. Pac-Man Monarch instead opting for Press the Attack. That probably gives a more 1v1 pressure for the Volibear, but not much gank pressure. Swoko actually, in fact, wants the Dark Harvest, and Slipstream with the normal Kale just goes good old lethal tempo. Same with the Ash on Cartera. Uh, Now Merlin and Furry Leg, they actually opt into an Ignite lane, which I think it's correct. I don't really think you need Exhaust versus Ash and Vel'Koz, but it is, I think, a wise decision for Coach Mustang to go that Exhaust. You definitely need it against Merlin in the later stages of the game.
So if I'm Vigar here, I'm shoving this wave directly into that Kale's turret.
Yeah,
And auto attacking that Kale. If Kale is able to auto attack the minions, then there is an issue because we should all be able to pressure our range versus melee matchups.
and it's only going to be a range versus melee matchup until Kale hits level 6, and then it's going to become a range versus range matchup. We have a good barrage from Coach Mustang there, manages to tag the Lulu. Slipstream manages to get a level lead actually from Jubilus. Yeah, you're right. This Kale is putting a lot of auto attacks into the mid wave. But everything else is pretty normal here for both teams. We don't see any invades. Junglers had a pretty good normal start, as we see Swoko on the red buff. I think Pac-Man Monarch is a little bit slow on the clear. He's still on his Raptors, while Swoko is already on his red buff. So let's see what Swoko is going to do, or if he's even going to be privy to this information.
So I'm curious, there's something I'm looking up right now. If Sejuani's passive has a shorter cooldown right now than Garen's QW combo, because or his QE combo, because Sejuani will win every one of these exchanges. Oh, hold up.
Oh, yeah, we have a gank on the top side. Black Beetle already flashing out. Can't be slowed, though, as the Sejuani passive is already on there. We see also a ward being put down earlier by, I believe it was Coach Magros, to see if the Volibear is on the top side, and indeed he was. They know now that the Volibear is going to be level 3, and I don't think they might contest the crab with it. We do have a pushing wave top, though. Slipstream in trouble in the Vagar cage. Will it be first blood? It's going to be the first blood, secured by Jubilus. The auto attack secures the kill.
And Jubilus puts Slipstream in the baby cage and says, "How dare you CS in my face? I'll see you in 12 seconds."
Yeah, Slipstream will have the teleport to get back into the lane, though, but I think they were punished for not flashing earlier. I think they had to, invest the flash once that baby cage is put down. But apart from that, I think the Vagar now gets the back. We have a trade coming up on the top side, though. Coach Magros manages to not really win the trade as much, but we have that Garen passive able to help him out later on in the lane phase. All right.
So with the Conqueror, Sejuani shouldn't be winning these extended trades here. I think if the Garen were just to stay in for a little bit longer, they would be able to get some, significant trades.
Yep, another trade being opted in by Coach Magros here. Black Beetle is going to have the advantage in terms of, the cannon minion hitting the Garen. Coach Magros, though, they do have the Ignite. Maybe they're just waiting for the HP threshold to get low enough. We see another trade coming out of Slipstream and Jubilus that, Vagar W is really painful. I'm very curious to see as to who hits level 6 first up in the top side, though. Because Coach Magros, will have a really high lethality threshold once he gets that level 6.
And speaking of lethality, what is your opinion on the build for Swoko? Should he get an Eclipse and just one-shot Merlin, or are we looking at,
This is a potential collapse here, actually, by Triforce Tryhards. Coach Mustang is already going to be stunned up. Jubileus already killed the Kale that gives him level 6, and that's also going to be Coach Mustang fallen to the Veigar as Triforce Tryhards picks up the Drake.
And that is why that Veigar spent 300 of that first blood money on some Nikes, because you saw him sprinting down that river, flashing, dropping the cage, saying, no, 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 no. You belong to me now. I love seeing this from a Veigar. Understanding the strengths this early into the game, wonderful.
Yeah, and I think there was an ignite by Coach Magros invested in the top lane. Black Beetle manages to get out of the lane with their life, though. The Sejuani did invest a teleport to get back into the lane. Slipstream is going to be able to push this mid wave. Jubileus, no teleport on him. However, I think that's a really good use of the lead created by Jubileus. Like, they know they're going to be level 6 before the Kale, and that's why they opted to take that fight down for the Drake.
And this is something you can apply to your solo queue games. Some people don't understand power spikes, but we just saw one in action. Power spikes are when you get that 300 or that 650 gold, and instead of spending it on a couple daggers, you can buy a stopwatch or buy a pair of boots like this and win your team a double kill.
Yeah, well, now we see Pac-Man Monarch, though, invading the top side of the jungle. That's going to be, him starting out the Raptors here. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Swoko is only level 4, down a level, and with no CS lead. Coach Mustang, though, putting in some work in the bot lane, hitting Furry Leg with that Q for the Vel'Koz.
And I just want to bring up again that this Triforce Tryhards have won one game this season.
Yeah, and their play is still definitely doing very well. We see another trade down at the bot side of the map, though. Cartera already at max stacks. Merlin winning that trade considerably, as we see Coach Mustang trying to win out the trade afterwards. Slipstream, though, they finally hit their level 6. They're now a ranged champion, but uh-oh, here comes Volibear.
Oh, look at that chunky boy.
Yep, the stun land. But the polymorph also to follow up. Flashless Vel'Koz means that they're dead. Merlin gets the kill onto the Vel'Koz. Now Coach Magros on the top side of the map getting traded on by Black Beetle. Silence comes through. Let's see if there's an all-in angle here by Black Beetle, but nope. It turns out it's just going to be a simple trade. As we see now, Slipstream also in the mid lane, down 18 CS. That's going to be another cage being landed on. That's going to be in lethal range. Excellent ult coming out of Jubileus. The Veigar is already 400 gold shutdown. This is not what Porosnax wanted.
What Porosnax needs to do is they need to slow things down and focus on the correct side of the map. Really decide on that objective, because Pac-Man Monarch has been running the Rift. What's the last time we saw Swoko in a lane? What's the last time he's been able to come into a lane?
Yeah, they've also done very well in managing the vision. If you see now, the Fog of War is on the red side, and there are some blind spots here for Porosnax, and that's why they haven't been able to, generate leads through ganks or any sort of that nature. But Swoko is a very farm-heavy jungler by nature. We see another gank attempt, though, by Pac-Man Monarch on the top lane. Coach Magros has no flash. The Sejuani ult lands. It's going to be a dead Garen at the hands of the Volibear.
Though this is the scoreboard is not telling all of the story right now. It's only a 3k gold lead, which is not that much in tier 2 play. We can definitely see some sort of flip a little further into the game. We just need to get, Kale, get some items, and I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, Garen, though, I think they've just finished that first component of the Hellbreaker. The pickaxe is going to be finished. They do have a slight CS lead, though, and I think, once the scaling tools come in for Swo and Coach Magros, they're going to start being in a better spot. I think late game, definitely, Graves will start to beat out the Volibear. And when you have the armor shred items coming in for Swo, that's when you start turning these fights. As we see another cage being put down on the mid lane, Jubilus is unstoppable. Slipstream did not opt to flash or invest the ultimate there, and instead it's going to be another Kale death.
It's that classic Twitch play when your opponents back to base and they say, okay, we're going back to base. Twitch is going back to base too, obviously. Nope, he just walked right up the lane and got his free kill. That is just excellent play on the sides of Triforce Tryhards.
Yeah, another Drake for Triforce Tryhards. It's going to be the Hex Tech Drake Soul. We see the plating being taken by Coach Magros, though. I think they're opting into a 1-3-1. They've called the Kale and said, hey, you know what? We'll handle the Veigar. You just go bot and chill. And I think it's a right play to kind of staunch the bleeding and make sure, Jubilus doesn't get further ahead than he already has.
It's an excellent move. Veigar is not a very long-range mage and a very slow to react to champion. So you just put two long-range characters that can just walk away from him and you're good. Excellent macro decision.
Yeah, however, the Veigar did, use the teleport to go bot lane. Swoko, maybe with a gank attempt here. I don't think he was spotted by Black Beetle. Silence already comes in for Garen. Ignite also invested. Let's see if there's going to be a lethal attempt. Nope, Black Beetle uses the flash to get out. It's going to be nothing for Coach Magros.
I wouldn't say nothing. That flash, as long as Swoko does their work,
Ooh, excellent kill ult. To deny the other kill, that ult completely tanked Jubilus's ult there. So amazing reaction time coming out of Slipstream.
And look at that forward-thinking ward.
Yep, he's going to be spotted, but however, Jubilus putting the baby cage down, it's going to be another stun up. Let's see the flash being invested by the Kale. That's going to be 14 gold in the pocket, but Kale has to back off from this now.
Coach Mustang coming in just to make sure Veigar doesn't get any turret plates at least.
Right, and looking at the CS numbers for the team, top has been doing pretty well. Now we have the gold numbers also being kept up here. Considerable lead by Pac-Man Monarch. He's 700 gold up, but my gosh, that Veigar is so dang fed. Almost two-shot Coach Mustang. He's only level 10. That's going to be really, really difficult for Porosnax to contend with in the late game. We need to see some, Mauve Melmortius build. And I just got word that Jubilus is 150 stack.
Ooh. And something that people don't understand is that Veigar is not by nature a late game champion. Veigar is a champion that loves fighting because with the changes not too recently to his passive, he doesn't just get stacks from killing minions, he gets stacks from hitting any ability, especially killing people with his ultimate. Even his E, if he stuns you, that's still AP that Veigar gets innately.
All right, the mid lane fight here by Slipstream into Merlin. Not going to be successful, though. Coach Mustang just ate another combo from Jubilus, and that means they're going to have to back out now. We see an all-in attempt, though, by Coach Magros. No Ignite, no Flash, so there's not going to be a dead Sejuani anytime soon. Now, Swoko's in the mid lane. I think they're trying to catch out the Twitch here. Pac-Man Monarch not far behind, though, but Merlin is being very cautious.
He's got to drop down that smoke screen and then... but yeah, they sniff it out.
Oh my gosh, no. That's going to be a flash forward by, Jubilus, and it's going to be a double kill. Cartera pulled the trigger there using the Ash arrow to try to pick, but then the Lulu ultimate just came in clutch. No lethal whatsoever onto the Veigar, and he just managed to flash forward, turn around, and get the double kill.
Pathfinder, I know exactly what that Veigar needs to buy when they go back to base.
Yep. He needs to get some pages.
Well, I was
to
going to
get the
say he
yellow
needs to
pages.
get some pockets because those little Yordle pockets are not going to carry any more gold.
Yeah, and we see Pac-Man Monarch with a gank in the top side. Black Beetle finds a lethal onto Coach Magros. The flashless Garen dying once again at the hands of Sejuani. This is turning to be quite a game in Triforce Tryhard's favor.
And what a match for this to happen. We look at the standings. Triforce Tryhards lost, I think, their first 3 games of the season. And Poro Snacks is 3-1. So this is the opposite of what everyone expected coming into this game. I think all up to the draft. The draft was excellent, and we how much more can we sing the praises of Jubilus?
Yep, when Jubilus gets ahead, you're going to be in for a rough time. You see Coach Mustang getting hit by 1 Q. It's going to be 1/3 of their health already gone. Let's see if Triforce Tryhards, decide to contest this Drake. I think they definitely should. They're ahead in gold and levels here. However, Poro Snacks is kind of putting up a fight here. They're not willing to let the Drake being taken slowly. Now Slipstream trying to get in the fight, but the Drake's already going to be gone. The baby cage already thrown down. I think this is going to be a dead kill soon, folks. They do have the ultimate, but Pac-Man Monarch goes unstoppable. Coach Mustang already dead, and now Slipstream does not have the ult anymore. Let's see if the Volibear can catch it up. Yep, is going to be running. It's going to be the stun. A double kill for Pac-Man Monarch.
And Triforce Tryhards are completely insane with the perfect game so far. I don't want to jinx it, but no deaths, no dragons given up, no turrets. Excellent play.
Yeah, they definitely are coming into this looking very, very, very strong here. And it's going to be the Rift Herald being taken by them at 16 minutes. Let's see if Cartera decides to contest it. Nope, it's going to be a clean Herald picked up by Pac-Man Monarch. We have 3 members of Triforce Tryhards with shutdown. 700 gold on the Vagar, 350 on the Volibear, and 300 on the Twitch.
It's not like there are absolutely no rays of hope here. I still think there are plenty of ways that Poro Snacks can come back here. They need to commit to their 1-3-1 because in all of these fights, when they have gone in against the Rift Herald, against the Dragon, to save mid-turret, they have been putting themselves in a situation where if they lose that fight, they get no money. What they need to do is they need to put Garen up there with that freshly baked hull breaker, and we got Kale bot lane, just like we need to, and get some objective bounties.
Yep, it's going to be scaling, not skill, that determines the outcome of this game. That's why Kale has scale in their name. So now Coach Magros with the Hullbreaker. Let's see what he's able to do with this. It's going to be a laser being thrown out by Coach Mustang. I think that might be a misclick. But Pac-Man Monarch just barely being touched by that laser. Cartera, managing the wave down in mid. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, we have the Kale, scaling. Let's see if they can turtle, but instead, Swoko is going to be walking forward to try to engage. But the Baby Cage, once again, denies every single, play that Poro Snacks are trying to make.
That was an excellent quick draw from Swoko, because if he had not gotten out of that cage, it would be an 8-0-2 Vygar.
Yep, now we see Vygar, going into the bot lane. He's already going to be 7-0-2. Let's see if, he can pad his stats a little bit more. But we do see the CS lead is actually held by Pac-Man Monarch. They do, in fact, commit the Rift Herald bot. It's going to be a turret before the Rift Herald even crashes into it. They might be going hard with that play here. They want, they want to split push even harder than the 1-3-1 comp that Poro Snacks has drafted.
And
Slipstream is going to be trapped here. It's going to be Kale ult being thrown down, but I don't think they're long for this world. We see, the turret mid trying to be taken by Poro Snacks, but they're going to get so much value here out of this Rift Herald. It's only 19 minutes into the game, but it's going to be a tier 3 turret already down. Pac-Man Monarch trying to engage onto Swoko. The Volibear Lightning already gets thrown down. It's going to be punches left, right, at the stun. But where's the kill? The camera panned away there. But now Merlin goes unstoppable with the kill onto Swoko. That's also going to be the inhibitor being taken down.
So there is somewhat of a bright spot there where we collapsed about 1,000 of that gold lead that they had previously with that objective bounty. And also, it prevented the perfect game, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but at least this team is fighting. You know, they can't. If not anything else, they can say that. Uh, and the win condition is still alive. This Kale is going to sit in bot lane and take so much gold of those super minions. So we have options here.
Yeah, and now with the Drake Soul coming up for Triforce Tryhards in 53 seconds, I believe that's going to be the next objective they're going to opt into. So far, though, the Garen has not had much success in the top lane with the Hullbreaker. The Sejuani has been steadfast in top lane, defending against the Garen at every turn. Black Beetle also having the level lead against Coach Magros. And I think what Triforce Tryhards is trying to do is okay, that's fine. We're just gonna invest one member of our team to look after Garen, but then win the 4v4 on the bot side.
And I do have bad news for Coach Magros, and that is that Garen's Q and the cooldown for his E will only get more and more in line with Sejuani's passive. By this point in the game, Sejuani's passive is giving her extra armor every 6 to 8 seconds, which is about the cooldown of their abilities. Here we go.
See the Ash Arrow being thrown down, though. Still, Slipstream already goes golden. Cartera already in the backlines being killed by the Merlin. Coach Magros in the fight, though. It's going to be Coach Mustang flashing away, but it's going to be another flash by Jubilus. Coach Mustang not long for this world. It's going to be a double kill for the Veigar. Merlin on the backlines trying to kill the Garen. But it's going to be a clean 4 for nothing and the soul take for Triforce Tryhards.
What a great turnaround. Did the way that they were able to just cut down the Kale and Ashe trying to sneak in, and on the other side of things, laying that box in the perfect position to stop the jungler from getting into the pit for the soul steal.
Yep, it's going to be the Baron also taken up by Triforce Tryhards right now. It's going to be a very clean Baron as well. Everyone's just going to be able to recall, spend the gold that they already have, and maybe look for the push to the end here. I think the gold lead has already completely ballooned out of control. It's going to be 13k in favor of Triforce Tryhards. And we have, 700 gold shutdowns on Merlin as well right now, as well as a 350 on Pac-Man Monarch, who's still... Oh, no, actually, Black Beetle is going to have the CS lead for Triforce Tryhards.
And let's see if Triforce Tryhards can really cement themselves as having the most dominant game tonight. Because that last game... Oh, here we go.
Yep, there's going to be a massive one-shot for Jubilus, Ghost Legendary, with that play. No response whatsoever for Coach Mustang. This Veigar is going insane. It's going to be 10-0 and 3, probably on 300 plus stacks right now, as Slipstream trying their best to defend the mid turret, but Jubilus goes Legendary. Pac-Man Monarch using the ultimate to deny the turret damage. Just going to be 2 inhibs down. The Ash Arrow manages to find Furlike, but, no time of day. They have a wave in mid. Let's see if Triforce Tryhards opt in to take this, but Swalco's already going to be caught out. They're 100 HP. The near sight comes down, but Pac-Man Monarch already denying them the kill. It's going to be the first kill by Coach Mustang, and it's going to be Cartera also falling. 23-minute game for Triforce Tryhards. They're going for the push. Coach Magros still stuck in top lane. It's going to be Triforce Tryhards with the victory.
Such excellent play. Really a fantastic showing, just a shellacking. I am so proud of Triforce Tryhards. I think all of us watched their first games this split, and they were having so much trouble. They tried some role swaps around. They had some draft miscommunication in their early games. But they came in, they said, okay, we're going to pick winning lanes. We're going to draft an easy comp. We're going to win.
Yep, and I think that's exactly what they did. 23 minutes is pretty early for an end time, and they definitely did achieve that. And I love how this team have just learned from their mistakes and evolved from week to week. And, I think with their star jungler Pac-Man Monarch back, they looked so much better. to this week than they did last week.
And although this match ultimately doesn't do a whole lot for the standings because Triforce Tryhards unfortunately had a negative record coming into this. So I'm curious about how this affects seeding for playoffs and choice there because I don't want to be that second place team that gets put against Triforce Tryhards because that 2-4 score line is lying.
Yep, definitely. And I think Jubilus. This is the first time he's picked the Vigar mid in tier two, and looking at the results, he can be very confident as in his execution of that champion. So beware other teams. Now you won't have to contend with Xin mid anymore. You got to watch out for this man's Vagar.
And tonight we had two of these games where we kind of had two teams obvious like rise to the top. I would really have loved to see these two teams after these matches go right at each other, because we saw two teams that were willing to draft, as I said after the first match, keep it super simple comps. We have Sejuani in both matches. We have Volibear pick ban, Vigar pick ban. These are champions that I hope to see being prioritized more by every team in the league.
And tomorrow night, we are coming back with more Tier 1 action. Just a couple of the matches. We've got Let Us Win versus Team Eclipse, and I believe Straight Outta Grompton versus... Gosh, what is that last team in Tier 1? Yeah, Bards of a Feather. Thank you, Mr. Hernandez Teaches. And packed schedule after last week when we were off due to the 4th of July, but after this, folks, it's going to be playoffs starting.
And I really think that tier 1 is an exciting competitive time. Like if you want to see some close matches, we have had some close matches in tier 1. It has been nail biters back to back, like the kind of thing you don't even want to get up out of your seat.
Yep, we have that coming up tomorrow. I believe it's also going to be at the same time at 7 CT to 9 CT. I'm not wrong. So thank you everyone for watching. You've been a great audience tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.